And welcome to Talk Truly. My name is Ed Calais, and I'm with Truly Effortless Events, and this is Talk Truly. It's a small podcast, hey, we're getting bigger every day, where we explore local businesses and show entrepreneurs and show just local people as well, what's in their community. Today, we have Dr. Douglas Tomanelli. I had to say it like that. He is with Atlas Total Health, and he is a doctor of chiropractor. So if something goes wrong, guess what? He's going to crack them bones. How are you doing today, Doug?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Hey, I know right before the podcast you were going like, you know what? I'm a little nervous. It's really nothing. What I want to know, Doug, is if I may call you Doug, Dr. Doug,
Sure.
you know, what made you go into chiropractic?
That's a good question. When I got out of high school, I was a sheet metal mechanic for about 7 years. I fabricated and installed ductwork in multi-billion-dollar buildings all over Long Island, New York. Then I got tired of that, so I went to school and didn't know what I was gonna go for, and I started going towards the sciences. And then as I started going towards the sciences, I realized, hey, I've been in sports almost my entire life at that time. So I said, maybe I can heal injuries. So I went ahead and started looking up physical therapy. Now, physical therapy, way back in, I'm giving up my age here. There were very few schools that did physical therapy. On Long Island, there was only two schools with 20 people being picked every semester, and I didn't have a 4.0 average. Okay, so I basically didn't get looked at. So I had a guy introduce me to a chiropractor, and he invited me into his office, and I shadowed him around, and I saw him doing some amazing things with his hands and just some therapies, nothing else. So I remember at the end of the day, he was analyzing some films, and I walked up to say goodbye. He says, "So, Doug, why do you want to go for physical therapy?" And I explained to him exactly what I explained to you. And he says, "Well, why don't you just go to chiropractic college, spend a few more years in school, become a doctor, and you could do physical therapy in your own office." And that's when the lights went on, and I went ahead and started searching for chiropractic schools.
Oh wow! So which
Mm.
school did you go to?
Well, I went to New York Chiropractic College at first, and they accepted me May of '95. I was ready in May of '94. So I didn't want to wait around for a whole year. So I ended up calling Life University down in Marietta, Georgia. And they said, come on down. They checked me all out and said, come on down, start. So I started right away. And 4 years later, I got, you know, I ended up in Chattanooga instead of Atlanta.
Oh wow! So it
Mm.
was that college that brought you down from New
Yeah,
York to the South,
that's right.
and then what brought you to Chattanooga?
Well, I had a doctor that wanted to hire me, so he set me up, up here, and I fell in love with the mountains. I come from Long Island, New York, and it's basically an island. It's 4 hours from Manhattan to Montauk, so it's a very big island, but it's all flat. So when I saw the mountains, it's just beautiful. I just thought it was beautiful. I'm an outdoor person,
Oh,
but I
if
do miss the ocean. I gotta say, I do miss the ocean.
if you're an outdoor person, you're in the right spot. I mean, Chattanooga
Yeah,
is really known. That's what they're known for.
yeah.
And so how long have you been in Chattanooga?
Since '98.
98.
Yep.
So we're about the same. Well, I've been here since 92.
92.
So, I just came a little bit before you, but I came via Louisiana.
Chattanooga's changed a lot, hasn't it, in those years?
Chattanooga has grown. I lived
Uh,
in Cleveland for about 30 years, which is right above Chattanooga. If you don't know, um, it's a small town. I love it. I love it. And I tell you what, there's one street, Paul Huff, that has grown tremendously since I've even left,
mhm.
which has been about 5 years. But let's get back to you. because I could talk about me all day,
Mhm.
but I want to know. So when you moved to Chattanooga, where did you start working at?
I started working at a place called the Tri-State Clinics, which was in Rossville, and I stayed there for about 6 months, and then ended up opening my own office.
Oh wow!
Mhm.
And now you're at Atlas.
Atlas Total. Yeah, I had a practice in Hickson for 20 years, and then came aboard with Atlas Total Health. I knew the owner, and he needed a cover doc, so I covered him a couple of days, and then they just, they asked me to come on board.
Wow! So they expanded and said, "All right, come on,
Mm,
Doug,
yeah.
let's go." What do you like about working at Atlas? Tell me a little bit about Atlas.
Well, what I like is, first of all, we got a great team. Okay, there's at least 120 to 150 years worth of experience over there with all the docs combined. So when you get a difficult case, you can always, run things past any one of them, and it's just great to have that kind of atmosphere where you can bounce ideas off each other. Um, the company's very fair company, very good company. We definitely treat the person as a whole and not like a number, so they get quality care.
There's always a fear of going to any doctor,
Hmm.
whether it's regular MD, a chiropractor, or even a dentist, you know. So let's say if I was having symptoms, what symptoms would you say you might want to see a chiropractor about that? Because I know from every time I talk to any chiropractor, they're telling me, well, you got a runny nose. Hold on 1 second. Let me take care of that. And then heals it all. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. I personally went into it because I love being an investigator of pain, musculoskeletal pain, or it could be visceral pain, but I have to diagnose that. So I have to investigate where this pain is coming from. But there's another side of chiropractic also, which deals with being healthy. And when you have your nervous system functioning efficiently, the rest of the organs function efficiently, because the brain is the main computer chip to your whole entire body. And it runs signals down through the spinal cord and out through nerves. And those nerves are very, very close to spinal joints. So when those joints get inflamed, the nerve ends up malfunctioning and it causes disease
No, what
or
could
dis-ease in the body.
ooh, well, what could cause that inflammation?
Any kind of trauma, any kind of postural issues, mechanical stress forces over and over again, those kind of things.
Well,
Mm.
I've been to a chiropractor before, after a pretty bad accident, because I had whiplash, I couldn't turn for anything. I mean, still to this day, I have my issues turning my neck. Here I am right in front of you going like, can you tell, yeah, I'm sure you get that all the time. My wife's a physician and she says people just once they meet her, they want to show her rashes.
Yeah,
Oh, look
yeah.
at it. I'm
It's
sure
true, it's true.
it happens all the time.
But it's okay. It's something I enjoy doing.
But one thing that I had that happened to me that honestly, that made the one thing that made me feel old or my age or older than what I am was I pinched my sciatic nerve.
Mm.
And when I went to a chiropractor and they combined with the chiropractor and the massage therapist, uh, it just went away.
Mhm.
And it was the biggest miracle in my life because I was walking around like fully limber
It's
and
miserable.
oh,
Nerve pain is some of the hardest pain you're gonna feel.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's so if somebody is, for example, let's say if somebody's just not walking correctly, that could be a chiropractor could fix that. Or,
Yeah, I
I
mean, they
mean,
could have had a trauma at one time. They could have had one of their legs broken and put together
reset.
by an ortho, and now they have one leg shorter, or it alters their gait. So yeah, that could happen.
Wow. So what's the typical appointment? Like, when someone's coming in,
Mhm.
they go like, "Hey, how you doing, doctor?" What's the first thing that you assess?
Well, I read what their symptoms are. I ask them about the symptoms. I ask them a series of questions to understand what's going on. I listen to them, and then I do my examination and I figure out where the pain is. Then I go ahead and take some X-rays to make sure there's nothing contraindicated on the X-ray of me treating this patient. And then I go from there, and I diagnose and start treatment.
Now, do you ever discover, like, when you did X-rays that they had something that was broken that they didn't even know?
Oh yes, I've many years of I've been doing this for 27 years. I've seen bone tumors, all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
yeah, I've had to tell people. One lady came in with headaches, and she had had headaches for a long time. And I took an X-ray. No, no, no. Yeah, I took an X-ray. I didn't see anything, so I started adjusting her. And within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, absolutely nothing. She didn't get any relief at all. So I sent her for a CT, and she had a golf ball sized tumor in the brain.
Oh my
And she's still a
goodness.
patient today. And this was like 20 years ago that this happened. But yeah, I've had to tell her, you got to go see this doc, and this is what's happening. So it's not fun to do, but, it gave me relief because she went ahead and got the surgery and got, taken care of completely. No more headaches.
Now, I often see chiropractors work almost hand in hand with a LMT, a licensed massage
Mhm.
therapist. Is that common practice?
Yeah, it is in most practices.
So,
Mhm.
what's the reason? You line them up and they loosen them up?
No, what a chiropractor does is we restore joint function and we restore posture. So the muscles react to problems in the spine or any joint. In other words, when a joint's inflamed, the muscles react. Okay. So when the muscles react, a lot of times they build up this fluid, which is inflammation in the muscle or in the form of a trigger point. And the massage therapist works that out. But we also work on trigger points as well. We do dry needling. We also do cupping, which is another ancient uh, form of medicine where people get a lot of relief from that. Yeah.
What is the science behind cupping?
Okay, the science is that when you have muscle and fascia that's been injured or is inflamed, okay, when you put a suction onto that muscle, it draws blood from the capillaries out and feeds all the cells in that area. What's in the cells that we need?
White blood cells?
Oxygen and nutrients.
Oh,
Every cell needs oxygen and nutrients to survive. So as that blood comes up, it's feeding all those cells, and that's what gives the therapeutic effect on the muscle. And then the muscle starts circulating again, and the inflammation goes out, and they get more range of motion and everything.
so is cupping like something that you would refer to do often or
Yeah, for
once a
some people,
quarter?
yeah, yeah. We don't have any kind of set cookie cutter treatment plan for everybody. We just whatever they need, we do.
Well, so I mean,
Mhm.
I would imagine you have people come in asking specifically for cupping
Yeah, and dry needling.
and dry
Yep, we
needling.
do.
And what does the dry needling do? Here I am. I'm like dry needling. I don't know if
Okay.
that
It
sounds a little dangerous for me, man.
No, it's kinda like acupuncture because we use the acupuncture needles. However, what we're treating are trigger points in the muscle, and it's an amazing thing. I got certified in this a little while back, and, when you have you know how when you feel these knots in your shoulders here?
Oh, very much
Okay?
so.
I can take that muscle where that knot is, and I squeeze it, and I put the needle in. You don't feel the needle at all. Yeah, occasionally you'll feel a little pinch if I hit like a
Nerve.
cutaneous nerve or something like that. But other than that, you don't feel it. But what I feel is when I'm doing this, the muscle just relaxes right in my hand. And the example I can give you is that make your bicep stand up a little bit. Okay. Now just
Okay.
drop the arm. That's exactly what I feel. That muscle just relaxes immediately.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Hey, learn something new every day.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So tell a little more about Atlas. Is it just like one,
No, they have 7 locations.
7 locations?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Okay, so there's one in Fort Oglethorpe, there's one in Dalton, there's one in East Ridge, there's one in Shallowford area, a Gun Barrel area. There's one in Hickson. Did I say East Ridge?
No.
East Ridge. So that would be them.
Well, yeah, I would hope you'd say East Ridge because isn't that the one that
I was
you're
trying to
at now?
remember all the other ones.
I forgot
Yeah.
where you're at.
Yeah, I'm at the East Ridge location right now.
You still have the one downtown, or I know you were at the
Yes. Oh,
downtown.
St. Elmo too. There's one
St.
in
Elmo.
St. Elmo. That's correct.
Yep, that's when I first met you. That's where you were,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then you switched to East Ridge.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going good.
I know it's a new office and you're
Mhm.
just building a business,
Yeah.
trying to get a social presence and all that fun stuff. You know, it. One interesting thing that I want to talk about, though, I know something about you. I know that you're a musician, not only a musician, but a drummer. But not only a drummer, you're in a drum corps.
Mm.
So tell me about that.
Well, I've been a kit drum player for many, many years, self-taught for most of those years. I started taking some lessons, but I really wanted to know. I didn't never had the basics of drum corps. I mean, you yourself was in drum line in school, correct? In high
Correct.
school. Yeah, I didn't have any of that experience, so I lacked in the snare drum technique. So I wanted to learn that. The Chattanooga Pipe Band took me in, and they've been teaching me for about 4 years now. And now I'm competing on the snare drum and everything. So it's fun.
Oh wow.
We go to the Highland Games. The next Highland Game is, I think, the 18th of October in Stone Mountain.
Oh wow.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to make that one. 'Cause, I know once your competition season's over with,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be venturing out there. The
I
one
hope
thing.
so.
Well,
We need you.
yeah, I went that one time. I'll be honest with you, loved it. The one thing about it, I live in East Brainerd,
Oh,
and
it's far.
it's
Uh,
far. It's
we
far.
got people
It's a
coming from
trek.
Cleveland,
Oh
so
yeah, I know.
it's a
I
it's
know.
a
It's
it's a
kind of fun.
commitment. It's a discipline.
It's
Yeah.
kind of funny, when I sat there, I knew some of the people that are there and going like one guy going like, "Hey,
Mhm.
don't you know my wife?" I'm going like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
Blake, I think.
Blake's a great guy,
Yeah, he is.
yeah,
Good people.
good people. Well, everybody I met there
Yeah,
was
yeah,
good
they're
people,
all
and
good
wow,
people. I wouldn't be sticking around if they weren't.
the talent that was
Yeah.
there, it was by far, it blew my mind because then learning that you're
Mm.
basically your first chair, is the guy who wrote most of the music,
Yeah,
and I'm going like, okay. And then there's his son right there by him,
yeah.
so doing everything. So tell me, what led you to the pipe band?
I think it was an online search.
Really?
Yeah, it was an online search, and I just happened to call them, and they said, "Come on down." And I went over there and liked what I saw, and I just kept going and made the commitment to do it. And here I am playing snare and a core. so, so it's amazing.
A
It's
Cora? It's
a,
not a kilt?
a core.
A core, drum core.
Yeah,
But you're
core.
wearing a kilt.
Well, when we compete, we have to.
Yeah, when you
Yeah,
compete, yeah,
yeah.
you have to.
Yeah.
How many other cores are there, like drum cores that are there when you're competing?
Many, many. We compete. We're always competing against Atlanta, Nashville, Knoxville, um, North Carolina, Texas. I mean, a lot of different places come out there and compete against us.
Now these Highland games,
Mm.
are they actually playing the Highland games with the pole that they're carrying and
Yep,
flipping it up?
they have the athletic side, they have the musician side, and then they have the dancing side. So it's all competition with uh, all those.
Different categories.
Thank you, categories. Yes.
I was recently, in fact, the weekend that you were at the Highland uh, competition that you invited me to, I was in Helen, Georgia at Oktoberfest. And that was the last place that I thought I would see a pipe band.
There was a pipe band
There
there.
was a pipe band if you don't know anything about Helen, Georgia,
Mhm.
they
It's funny
basically
you should say that. We're going there this weekend.
really
Yeah.
have you been there?
No, never.
It was my first
I've
time
been
going.
through there, but I've never really hung out there and did
But the
anything.
fact that it's a town that they made
Mm,
into a Bavarian village,
yeah.
And so my wife and I went down there for the opening parade and they tapped the first keg for Oktoberfest. It's a big party. Be prepared. for a big party.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, it's fun. If you could get you some lederhosen, get you some lederhosen. Because when you get there, guess what? Everybody's dressed to the T.
Yes, unfortunately, we have that.
Yeah.
We planned ahead. This was a nice little weekend we wanted to take, so we gonna do that.
Oh, my wife is ordering me some lederhosen for Oktoberfest in Chattanooga. I have some dear friends of mine that are going to be having their birthday party during Oktoberfest. So
Oh,
they're going
cool.
like, okay, we're we're expecting everyone to be dressed. So that's gonna be a sight to see. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
When you get there, there's so many. Gosh, you know,
Mhm.
I'll tell you after our filming, so many places to go. So many places to see. Well, once you go into the big beer hall, and then they have all the dancing going
Yeah,
on.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. We're gonna.
There's actually like a percussion exhibition, but it's more um, on mallets than anything.
Okay.
You know,
I
uh,
still love. I love any kind of percussion. Yeah.
yeah, it's
In
amazing. But
fact, in on November 15th, the Chattanooga Pipe Band's going to be, I believe, with the Nashville Pipe Band and the Knoxville Pipe Band, and we're playing at the UTC game in the halftime. So
wow,
that's going to be really neat.
what
That's a
day?
really neat November 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be in the halftime show, the Chattanooga Pipe Band.
Well, I remember my daughter just graduated from UTC, and that's when I saw a pipe
Yeah,
band.
we open up the graduations twice a year
Yeah,
at UTC. Yeah.
and then my other daughter's graduating next
Mhm.
year, so you never know. I might be on the floor.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I know.
We'll strap a tenner to you. You can keep quarter notes,
Well,
right?
hopefully by then I'll be on snare.
Yeah, hopefully that would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So drummer, chiropractor, is there anything else that you do that, just defines Doug?
Well,
Outdoorsman. I mean,
I
you like to
spent
go kayaking, I would
yeah, but
imagine.
I spent mostly the last 20 years, co-parenting children, 4
Oh,
children. So it kept me from doing a lot of things, and I put most of my attention into them. So now it's a little bit different. I'm starting to become an empty nest, so I got a little bit more that I'm able to do, which is nice. But I took my parenting seriously, and all my kids are doing great.
you know what? That's all you're expected to do.
Yeah. In fact, if you look on my Facebook page on my wall, you'll
Mm.
see a lot of videos that I did. I have my whole entire family playing music together. Son on the guitar, daughter on the keyboards, two daughters singing, me on the drums.
Wait,
So,
no tambourine and I was getting some Partridge Family vibes
well,
here.
when they were younger, we did stuff like that. But as they got older, we have music that we
Did
play.
you do you do your head side to side and go ba 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 ba?
Well, video games are so overrated. More parents need to do things with their kids like that. I mean, there's nothing like having music in the family. It's just
No, we're gonna do a full circle here and come back to chiropractor.
mhm,
You know, if there was any advice that you would give to people to one, take better care of their spine
mhm.
and their joints and everything, what would it be?
Well, the biggest thing, the mistakes that patients make is they wait till they have a problem. Once they have a problem, if the problem is serious, it takes a whole lot longer to fix the issue than it does if they came in periodically, just like you go to the dentist. You go to the dentist every 6 months. They, take X-rays. They look at your teeth, make sure nothing's going on, and they maintain your teeth. Well, we maintain the spine and the musculoskeletal system. So most people will see a chiropractor bare minimum twice a year, bare minimum.
And how often should they see them?
It depends on what they do.
Yeah.
The harder you work on your body, the more maintenance you need. So it's kind of like a car. If I do an oil change today and I travel all the way to California and back, I got to do an oil change again. Okay. It's just because you've driven so long. So when an athlete is working out 5 days a week, 6 days a week, they need more maintenance. They're coming in once a month. Some people come in every other week,
Yeah.
and just to maintain themselves, and then we avoid injuries that way.
I totally see that.
Mhm.
It's wise advice. And so if somebody was trying to get in touch with you, what would they do?
Oh, they can
How could they
call
do
they
it?
can call the East Ridge location.
What's the number?
The number is, you know what? It's a new office. I'm not really sure, but I can
Oh
pull something out. I
man.
can pull something out. I know the old office number. Uh,
Oh, there we go. We're out right here.
oh, good. Thank you. Okay, so it's 894-4771. You can also look on the website at atlastotalhealth.com, and they have all the locations on there and everything we do.
And what days are you open?
We're open Monday through Friday.
And what's your hours?
On Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're open from 9 to 6. On Tuesdays, we're open from 3 to 6. And on Fridays, we're open from 8 a.m. to noon.
Ooh, I like that those
Mm,
hours. You get
mm.
off early for the
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Well, what's your website? Is it at
It's atlastotalhealth.com.
atlastotalhealth.com?
Hmm.
Now, give a little shameless plug for the pipe band. Do you know how to get in touch? Somebody want to.
Yeah, it's the ChattanoogaPipeBand.com. They're a great bunch of people, and we get hired on to do funerals and occasions like tartan occasions. Tartan is a something the Scottish celebrate, so we get hired to do stuff like that.
Now, do you
Mm.
march in parades like Maine times 24?
Yeah, we've done it before, and we'll do it again. I think we're looking at possibly St. Patrick's Day doing that.
Oh, well, I hope St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day. That would be fun.
Hmm.
You know, uh, I've been to quite a few funerals that had bagpipes,
Yeah.
and that's
Amazing Grace.
yep.
Mm.
In fact, I was actually in the movie Bad Boys 3.
Really?
Uh, and the scene that I was in was a funeral for the captain who had just, you know, got killed. And of course, they brought in bagpipes and drums and everything. And I'm standing in line as the character I was playing was an officer, going like, man, I want to be on those drums. I want to be on that snare. But then when, the one
Uh,
time that I got to visit you and the pipe band, I realized, man, there's a totally different world.
mm,
But, thank you again for coming because, it wasn't as tough as you thought it would be,
no,
was it?
no. I've done stuff like this before, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up here and thank you, Doug. I appreciate you, Dr. Doug, you know, thank you again for coming. Thank you for joining us on Talk Truly. Again, my name is Ed and I am with Truly Effortless Events. This is filmed at Area 52 Studios right here in Ringo, Georgia. If you go to area52media.com, you can check them out. If you want to find me, trulyeffortlessevents.com. We do everything from Truly Realtor to helping out with just small events as well. Thanks again and have an amazing day.